This is Jeff Hamrick at Rhodes College, and we're going to talk for a minute or two about creating a dot plot of your raw data, a histogram of your raw data, and a box and whiskers plot of your raw data. This is the body fat percentage data that we will work with throughout the semester. Recall that it has information about a group of roughly 250 sailors. The variables of greatest interest perhaps are the body fat percentages of those sailors, the ages of the sailors, perhaps the weight of the sailors in pounds, and the variables like height and neck circumference measured in centimeters. For example, this is the circumference measured at the abdomen in centimeters. I'm going to focus just on working with the weights. To create a number of different types of plots, drag down an empty graph icon, and I'm going to drop the weight attribute into the middle of the icon, into the middle of this empty area. It defaults automatically in Fathom to a dot plot when you do this, but we can tell pretty much by looking at the dot plot that roughly speaking the weights have a bell shape. There's one sort of overweight male right here, and there's a very overweight male out here. In fact, I sort of question whether or not that might be some sort of typo, since it seems doubtful to me that a 375-pound man could serve effectively in the Navy. To convert this dot plot into a histogram, just use this drop-down menu right here and change dot plot to histogram. We'll talk later this semester about various options for histograms, various ways that you can make histograms look slightly different from one another. Let's not focus on that right now, though. The last plot I want to show you how to create is a box and whiskers plot. Just switch the check mark from histogram to box plot, and you obtain a box and whiskers plot of the raw data. And let's just be careful and reiterate how we interpret this box and whiskers plot. This middle line right here is the median of the data. Okay, that's Q2, so to speak. The left edge of this box right here is Q1 of the data, that is the 25th percentile or the first quartile. This right edge of the box right here is the third quartile of the data, Q3, or the 75th percentile of the data. Using the interquartile range test for outliers that we talked about in class, these two weights are designated by Fathom as outliers, and they're represented as dots right here. So not surprisingly, Fathom finds this guy who weighs about 375 pounds or so to be an outlier. What these whiskers represent on the plot, though, is the distance from Q1 through the smallest data point not considered to be an outlier. So for example, there's a data point right here that's not large enough to be an outlier, and there are data points throughout the range of this right whisker. We can't see those because the box and whiskers plot obscures some of the information about the raw data, but the maximum of the data is here and the minimum of the data is here. It's just that there are no data points on the left side of this distribution of weights that are sufficiently far to the left to be designated as outliers by Fathom.